I didn't know that. Wait, what? This is the map?
Yep.
What? I thought it was the green map.
Nope.
What?
It's this stupid bastard
No,
of
no, no, man. The green map is awesome.
Well, we do actually have horizontal spawns here, but that's okay because of the way the map is divided. Maybe... Should we tell them?
Okay.
No, neither of them know. Let's leave them in the dark about it. So this one's map pick, but let's go ahead and introduce the players. Penguin, take her away.
In the bottom left spawn location, we have the man who is gonna have to win the game on the stupidest map in the map pool. It's none other than the pink Zerg player, EG.Machine.
And his opponent played very strong today, but now a bit on the back burner. It's the blue Terran, Empire.Beastyqt. And the score is currently 3-2 in BC's favor, guys. Since this is a best of 7, he only needs one more win to bring it home.
I'm not gonna lie, Rifkin, I don't see this game going very favorably for our Zerg player, considering that the rush distance is almost non-existent, and he's scouting both of the wrong locations first.
Okay, so a little bit of explanation, guys. Vigilance is pretty much the biggest map in Heart of the Swarm, period. There's no question about it. It is also a 2v2 map. This was not picked out of balance or because of this or that. And, like, even before the game, Beastie was like, wait, Akalon Waste is not the map pool? What the hell? It's because this is such a monstrously big map we picked it for this. It's, this is meant to become a fun show match, and this is how we're going to shake it up a little bit. By putting what is just the definition of an absurd map into the pool.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm looking.
Not taking his in-base expansion.
Wait, what?
Machine.
Okay then.
I'm not too sure if that was conscious. Well, actually, you know, that could have been a conscious choice. You know, take the third one, get it all set up, then take a more secured third base later on by having it as your natural.
That's true. I'm trying to find the name of the 2v2 map that I thought this was.
What should we talk about? It's the jungle one. I played that one with Doom actually, where I mastered a Colossus. I think I showed you that where there's like 50 Colossus on the field.
Yeah, man, that's the one I was hoping it was. It's an awesome game.
No, see, actually, I seriously considered that one, but I decided with the way that the spawns are in that one, I didn't think it would have worked out in a. It wouldn't have been interesting to watch. I don't think in a 1v1 situation.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been balanced enough. This map, on the other hand...
Well, the thing is, though, like, okay, while these guys are in close spawn locations, look at the way the bases are. They can expand vertically pretty easily. There's this huge split down the middle of the map. I mean, okay, you can argue this middle base could be a point of contestation later on, but you've also got, like, 9 other bases you could go for. And
that's very true.
He's actually in Machine's base with a Marine right now, and Machine's not dealing with this. He might actually lose a drone or two if he's not careful.
Gets a couple of lings out. Gonna be able to take that out pretty quickly. Now, I'm very interested to see how these players play this map, because Machine said he's never played this map, so I assume he hasn't played 2v2 on HOTS yet. Beastie said he didn't know if horizontal spawns were enabled, so I don't think he's played this map all that often either.
Well, the thing that's really cool about this map, this kind of takes you back to Antigua a bit. If you want to put your camera on me for a second, Doom, you've got these choke points outside your base where you can put a couple planetaries and you secure yourself in very nicely. And alternatively for the Zerg, you know, if you want to make a spine crawler wall, here's the place to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Machine take a reasonably quick third if Beastie doesn't get super aggressive. Looks like Beastie does want to get that starport up pretty quickly, so couple Hellions going to be coming out, and he is going to have a tech lab on that starport, so we're going to be seeing a pretty standard opening with Hellion into Banshee.
Yeah, I really want to see Machine, if he does go for a quick third, take his natural base instead of some awkward fourth, which will become his third. But okay, some Hellions are on their way here. Queens, there are 3 Queens on the map. They should be able to drive this off for now. But the thing is, Machine has got to catch wind of the fact that there's with the starport, actually a Banshee. I take everything back. I thought we were going to see Hellion drops once more. But Beastie decided to go classic on this one with Hellion Banshee opening.
Yeah, and he's going to be getting Cloak as well, so this is something that we didn't see him opt for. We haven't actually seen him opt for Banshee play at all in this series yet, so we don't even see speed on the way for Machine, so these Lings are essentially just going to be dead weight that he has right now. Well, Roach Warren's on the way.
In Heart of the Swarm, you don't need an Evolution Chamber, so he's got Overlords in nice position. If he scouts that Banshee coming in time, he could throw down several Spore Crawlers right away and not be in a lot of trouble. But this Queen, outside of his natural ramp, is it's very ballsy trying to take off this many Hellions alone. I don't know that it should be doing that.
No, it does survive. He does, of course, have 2 more additional queens to spread the creep. He's getting very, very nice creep coverage once again.
And Machine, yeah, he's just droning up right now. He's got a couple, as you said, some lanes on the field, but they're kind of dead weight right now without that speed. They can't really contend with the Hellions. Roaches look like to be the weapon of choice. He's already getting 1 or 2 out. But that Banshee's on the way, and I hope he saw that with that Overlord. I swear that crossed paths.
Cloak is going to be finishing up in a couple of seconds. And here comes the first aggression of this. 1 kill, 2 kills already. He does start the Spore Crawler, but with the Cloak, he's going to be able to kill quite a few more drones before this is dealt with. Already up to 4 kills, may get a 5th. He is following those drones on out, not going to try to go for the Queen. And yeah, I mean, these drones are, a couple more of them are going to go down. This is really, really nice aggression here from Beasty. The Hellions were not really able to do what they wanted to, but this Banshee is definitely making up for them, paying dividends. 8 kills so far, all of those are workers. And its Cloak is running out, but...
Well, while this is going on, BC is moving out with a hell of a lot of Hellions, and there's not much here to deal with it. There's 1 Roach and a couple Zerglings, and I think right now Machine's a little distracted with that Banshee. Well, a little too distracted as the Hellions get right past the Spine Crawler.
He will be able to actually pick up these Hellions pretty nicely by the looks of it. Nice transfuse on the Roach to keep it alive a little longer. Only 2 Hellions left. 1 will be picked off by... Wow, that actually... Really nicely done with the Roaches, and I mean, BC didn't really get what he wanted to get done with those Hellions. They did die pretty quickly. Looking at the workers, lost 11 in total.
I don't know that I can say it's worth it, because there's 2 Banshees and a lot of Hellions for the cost of that few workers.
Only 1 Banshee did go down, which is one thing that has to be considered, but I would definitely think that, I would definitely consider the lead to be in Machine's favor at this point.
Well, BC is getting more factories behind them, so it looks like he's going to continue with that pretty classical mech style. And Overseer coming out now too, so Machine is done with this. He's like, okay, you got Banshees, just get out of here, alright? I got Queens, I got an Overseer, you're done. Oh, actually, Spire coming out of Machine. Now, I'm not sure if this is just in preparation or if he's going to try and throw a couple Mutalisks into the mix. A couple Mutalisks would not be too bad, though, especially if you can catch Beastie before there's really Thors on the field.
And the thing that we've seen Beastie do the entire series is that he only really used Widow Mines in the last game. He hasn't really been using Widow Mines all that much, and those are the real things that shut down the Mutalisks up until the Thors are out. So that may be a bit of a factor in Machine's decision to go for the Spire at this point. And he does have +1 to the Roaches finishing up as well, so it looks like he is going to be going pretty Roach heavy, which is as to be expected against Mech. Still the best option, even in Haas.
Yeah, and these Banshees are getting detected now, so they should finally go down. Will Machine transfuse this Queen? There's actually no energy to do it. Oh, the Queen! Oh, 4 health. I thought I was going to get away for a second. There's been too many close calls here for Machine today.
These Banshees are doing very well, though. He's up to 18 worker kills in total. And these 2 Banshees don't have all that many of the kills initially. That initial Banshee did the major damage. With this Spire coming up, though, he is going to be able to shut down that Banshee harass. The Queens are pretty good at shutting it down for now, but he gets some
really
ability
cool.
of the Mutas.
BC's got a Raven out in the field. Whether it's just for creep or not, BC has been using Secret Missile very effectively recently. In TVT more so than others, I'm always expecting him to throw down a point defense drone for the Viking fights, but instead he's like, forget it. Here, have a Secret Missile to the face.
In Secret Missile, it's pretty good, costing only 75 energy right now. It's not as powerful as it is in Wings of Liberty, but you don't get the upgrade cost.
In my opinion, with the energy cost being so low, it's completely...
And there we go. We'll see an example of that really nice micro. That was really nice micro there from Machine. Just split that up.
Yeah, and it's only 100 damage, so the Roach does live through it. Can regen that health quiz. And there are the Mutalisks chasing down the Banshees now. And Machine going to go for his 4th by the looks of it.
The Banshees will escape with their Cloak, but almost no energy on those, so they are not going to be able to do any more harass for the next near future anyway. Mutalisks are going to be going to do a little bit of damage, but there is a missile turret here, forced to pull on back. He will not lose that Mutalisk.
Very close.
He's not really committing to Mutas, though. He's only getting a few of them out. I like this.
Ooh,
this helps
look at this. Yeah, these turrets are the only form of defense BC has against these Mutalisks. Can Machine stop them?
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of stuff here, actually. I mean, the missile turrets will complete. But this is a really nice trade for him overall, as long as he gets out with several of his Mutalisks. He only lost 2 Mutas. Killed off a couple
of this awkward dead space.
Yeah.
Like
he only loses 1 Muta on the retreat path.
Oh wow, another one gets away with 7 health remaining. These 2 Roaches might just take out that turret. Yeah, they should definitely take out that turret. No! Oh! The repair denied 1 health before the SC can repair it.
This is becoming very, very interesting at this point. We see a 3-base meching Terran getting a 4th command center on the way versus a 4-base Zerg. It's very, very even in drone count. Drones are up by 1 over the SCVs. And we're seeing Machine down by about 10 supply. But at the same time, he has a significant tech advantage. Looking at the upgrades, it's currently 1-1 to what will be... Actually, he doesn't have that big an advantage. I thought he was getting 2-2, but it's only 2-1, so he has a slight lead in upgrades once these two finish. He actually is going flyer attack, so it looks like he wants to commit to several more Mutalisks here. He only has 4 on the field at the moment. But interesting choice. He's going for the Hive.
Oh, you got one of mine, Penguin. You were asking for them, and I think Beastie heard you because they're finally coming out on the field. And with this many factories, I mean, there's really no reason not to do it. You, of course, don't need a reactor or tech lab to build them. Reactors, of course, make it a little bit nice to get them out faster, but with showing the hand of Mutalisks, you know, having those Widow Mines out would be very nice, very safe. And Beastie's just got to, if he wants to turtle up, why the heck not? He can do it right now. And these Hellions are going to try and run through the middle of the map, but the Roaches are there to greet them, so going to be forced to turn on home.
We are... I'm interested to see what we see out of Machine. We are seeing the Hive completing. He does have +1 going to be finishing up for the flyer attack soon, so I assume we'll be seeing him going into Broodlords from here. But the thing to remember is that Ultralisks are very strong, so it is still a possibility, but I think at this point it's definitely pointing towards Broodlords. Not something that has been seen as much in ZVT late game in HOTS, just because Ultralisks do so well. But we're getting to the point now of the game where we're seeing Beastie throw down endless numbers of command centers. He's got 3 more in production. That's going to bring him up to a total of... trying to count. It's going to bring up to 7 orbital commands.
Trying to fry some of these drones, but they don't quite have the Blue Flame upgrade. They will get quite a few drones, but they will also be cleaned up rather steadily. So 30 workers have been picked off at this point in the game. Beastie definitely keeping up with that harass.
Double scan going down, just making sure he sees all the tech, and he does see pretty much everything. He doesn't see that the Greater Spire has started morphing, but he does see the Hive.
I do want to comment, I think one of Beastie's greatest successes in all of the games he played today was that the medevac drop with the Hellbats inside, and I'd like to see him maybe try and repeat that. There's a Spore Crawler down, but you know what? The emergency boosters are made for just those sort of situations.
Yeah, it's a little hard with these while the Mutalisks are still out, but the numbers are so low that it may actually be successful. But wow, we're seeing him preparing really nicely for this. We have 4 starports on the way, Rifkin. Beastie's going to be ready for this transition, and he is pushing out.
Oh, these Mutalisks are going to be susceptible to the Widow Mine.
1 goes down, damage taken on the others, but 3 of them will survive. Going in, trying to focus down some of those Banshees, but this is not a nice little engagement here for Machine.
Yeah, there's a bit of irony here where Machine doesn't have anti-air capabilities. It's kind of like he's playing his own version of mech, where he's just got so many roaches on the ground, and he lost a lot of his anti-air. Now there's a Greater Spire on the way. If he can just hold off this force, if he can get those late game Broodlords out, everything could change, because Broodlords are great, even against the Thors with their concentrated missile attacks.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to hold until that finishes, but with 9 Broodlords on the way...
And he doesn't want to sacrifice switches, but he's going to have to put them into the fight.
Here we go. He is going to start moving forward here, trying to pick off these Hellbats. A couple of them are going to go down. Seeker Missile being used on the Roaches, but that means that the Seeker Missile is not going to be around for the Broodlords. Now the Broodlords are... I mean, the big thing to think about here, though, is that there's still these Banshees to deal with.
But there are Corruptors. He didn't go for all of them, so he's able to deal with this if he can get close enough. These 2 Thors are the only real threat at the moment, and they will be dealt with very quickly here. Machine actually keeping a lot of those Roaches alive, too. I do want to point that out. He will be able to send Beastie back home. Now Machine is maxed out, so there's no reason not to push at this point.
He is going to be moving on forward here. His +1 for the link is going to be finishing up pretty soon. And the Broodlings, of course. Now, these Roaches are not trading very nicely against this massive tank line. Corruption used on the tanks.
Yeah, these Broodlings are going to do a lot of damage to the tanks. They do not have upgrades, though. I don't think this was the path that Machine had originally intended to take, but you know what? It's working for him. But as you said, he's got 4 stars.
So many tanks are going down. This is actually not looking good at all for him. There's not that much in the way of anti-air at all. These 9 Broodlords are all still alive. None of them went down. One of them took a little bit of damage, but otherwise...
He's got some Hellions. Blue Flame heading towards... Oh, there.
He really has to be careful. He has to be careful about this Widow Mine. It's going to detonate at the 3rd, and actually only hits the Mutalisk. Doesn't go for the clumped up Corruptors.
So
the natural. Blue Flame flying a lot of the drones at the natural, and the Roaches will finally arrive to... No, they aren't. The Roaches are just
look
forward.
At Beastie's base. There's so many Broodlords. BC is forced to lift off, and the assault continues, but there's a lot of Banshees and a lot of Vikings now. Those 4 starports had to kind of take that time to regroup. But you know what? I think it was worth it, because now I don't know that really, with the Seeker missiles hitting the Corruptors, he's going to hit all the Corruptors, Penguin.
Yeah, lots of damage done. But the Viking number's not that high. It's now slowly but surely going to get up to where it needs to be. But the Broodlord should survive long enough to do quite a bit of damage. Another orbital command will go down. And a whole lot of damage is being dealt by these roaches. Looking at the workers killed, he is slowly but surely starting to rack up quite a few kills of his own. With the Blue Flame Hellions at his own natural killed 20 or 30 more of his own. A second Spire is going to be done. He's going to be getting double upgrades. This army is finally going to be defeated. But so much damage has been dealt by Machine that this is definitely a worthwhile trade.
Yeah, Machine chose to go for Mutalisks behind this, interestingly enough. I guess he's really banking on dealing with these Banshees. Because Corruptors, they're nice, but they're not the best way to deal with Banshees. However, there's a lot of Vikings.
I really like the decision to go Mutas because there are a lot of Vikings, but Vikings don't do very well against Mutas in high numbers. So the lack of real anti-air is going to be great because what BC is doing now is he's relying on the Vikings for anti-air, which don't do that well against Mutas. And behind this, he's not getting any Thors. He's getting tanks. He's getting Hellbats.
And Machine is just continuing to expand upwards. We got another base down for him right now. Both players are very low on supply in comparison to where they were about 2 minutes ago, though. Fusion Core coming out of Beastie. If he can live long enough to get battlecruisers out, those 4 starports will be really nice. But he needs this base. He keeps losing this 4th base, and he needs it for that gas income, Penguin.
Down goes the orbital command, Rifkin, and these Mutas are just going to be able to help clean up stuff so quickly. And the Viking count at this point isn't really going to help all that much. It's not dead supply, but it's not very useful supply. And we see a 5th base completed and mining now for 4 machines. So we're talking 3 base Terran with the main mined out and the natural getting pretty close versus a 5 base Zerg.
Imagine if the Vikings could do that cool move in Heart of the Storm Tread. Like, that would make them so much more effective. Even if it didn't affect their damage, just the graphical look, man. Like, with this many Vikings, that would look so cool. But we do have Thors now in production. I think BC's aware that there's a lot of Mutalisks on the field.
Yeah, he is still going for Mutalisk production, is Machine, so that's a bit of an interesting choice. A lot of these drones could get fried by these Hellions.
They are going to try to group, but actually getting a surround on the Hellions is probably the best way he could have dealt with that.
Nicely done. Only 5 or 6 did go down there.
Let's say, how many? 60 workers have been kicked off this game. BC's doing a great job with harass, but Machine, in that last attack, 43 SCVs went down. Not to mention a couple orbitals, so that was a lot of mule production lost.
Yeah, looking at the actual income tab right now, we have a lot of income for BC, but that is, of course, the mules. He has quite a few mules right now at the natural, at the 3rd base, actually. But that 3rd base is going to be mined out by these mules as well, so he's going to lose the mining capability of that 3rd base.
And the battlecruiser switch, actually, I do want to point out it's not going to be that difficult to pull off because you do have the armor upgrades that benefit both ground and air. So these Vikings, they're, while you say like they're ineffective, they're not dead space, but they're in effective space. They're just buying time.
Yeah, and with the point defense drone of the Raven, that actually makes it a very, very actually, not the best trade.
Well, he's got Widow Mines here too with Thors. Machine cannot push into that. If he does, he's going to get AoE'd in a second.
He did pick off 5 or 6 more workers, so every little bit that he can do to hold on to that worker lead that he has is very, very nice to have.
I gotta say, the map dominance and the map control is definitely in Machine's favor, though. He's got the creep spread in the middle of the map, which is kind of awkward and weird because half of it was cleaned up. But he's also got bases, and he's continuing to expand behind all of this. And, BC's been kind of stuck, I gotta say, in this little corner of the map this whole game. But, oh man, look at these Hellions, Penguin. Right into the natural. There's nothing to stop them.
Oh, Mutas do pop. They may be able to do a little bit of damage, but no, they just fly right on past. Oh, they're switching to Hellbat form as well. This is not going to go well.
It's alive!
Yeah, these are going to go down. Some of the drones will get away, but he will be able to clean up these units. But that's very, very effective trading by BC.
Going fast mode, just pick off a couple more drones to clean up this, bringing the total to, wow, and almost 25 extra workers killed. That's the natural. Sorry, the 3rd base was killed as well.
4th base. The spines are going to help, but he's up to 86 worker kills, and that actually switches the supply into Beastie's favor quite heavily.
Okay, BC actually, he does have knowledge of the northern bases up here. These are not gone unattended.
There's one Banshee moving on in with 4 health and 14 kills. There's an Overseer morphing, though, so that is not going to live long.
Now, the problem is, once battlecruisers are on the field, battlecruisers when you've got low numbers of them, they're not that effective. Zerg can take them out pretty quickly with a couple corruptors, a couple reinforcement supplies, if you will. But once you get that sort of big clump, that critical mass, that death ball, if you will, of air units, it becomes very difficult to deal with that as a Zerg player.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that battlecruisers are really, really strong capital shifts, as are broodlords, but broodlords don't shoot up, whereas battlecruisers do. They also have the Yamato cannon ability.
100 damage to a single target. That's going to kill just about every and anything that could be thrown at it. Now here we go. We've got Mutalisk kind of posturing in the middle of the field. Looks like Machine wants to go for a hit.
At this point, I'm not sure how much that would benefit him. He's down in supply. He's down in army supply. He is going to be able to deny this center expansion. I think he really has to deny the center expansion. If Beastie is allowed to secure the center expansion, he has a great foothold into just launching an all-out attack on Machine without very much warning.
Yeah, the best thing Machine's had going for him all game is the fact that he kept Beastie on the 3 base. Well, I guess technically 2 base now that the main's mined out, but he's actually denying the landing of this command center. A little bit annoying. But he also sees that there's battlecruisers now. And this is not exactly like a big tell. You kind of have to assume with how long the game's gone on that a tech switch would happen. But it does kind of reveal, okay, yes, I 100% have battlecruisers. And producing 4 at a time, Yamato cannon on the way too. Those last +3 weapons, I think Beastie's really starting to look good here.
Yeah, Machine looked like he had it for a while, but slowly but surely he's falling further and further behind.
What?
Oh my god, those missile turrets just warding off those mutas at the third so effectively.
Yeah, he doesn't even need Widow Mines. But I feel a lot of this was because Machine stopped with the aggression. He just kind of let Beastie build up. He had that kind of really nice solid attack with Broodlords. You could argue it was all in or not because of all the units lost, but you know, he didn't really do a follow-up to that. He expanded, which is great. You should definitely be doing that, but his units postured around the middle of the map. He tried to harass, couldn't, so he just ended up letting Beastie build up an army that I don't think he should have let happen.
The other thing to think about, though, is that, of course, despite the really good upgrades on the battlecruisers, the corruptors have really good upgrades as well. There's good mutas to be able to support the numbers of corruptors as well. And, I mean, this game is by no means anywhere near over.
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, Beastie's looking pretty good. He's got tons of missile turrets, too, around this base that are going to help with the fight.
A couple secret missiles going off in the middle of the map, taking out about 4 roaches.
Alright, well, he knows the air army's out of position, so he's going to push into Beastie's base here. There are tanks defending. A little bit annoying for these roaches to have to deal with. And, okay, he does have burrow. I was going to say he could just burrow and run away if he absolutely needs to. But Hellions continue to harass up here in the northern part of the map. Beastie's just like, you know, I got Hellions to spare. The cost minerals? I don't need minerals.
Beastie's coming close to that little achievement of 100 workers killed in the game.
Oh wow, 91. Yeah, he's getting there.
I like how Machine just has this one roach on the most awkward patrol path just to make sure that there's no expansions going up at the top right.
Now there's a lot of missile turrets here. This is kind of very problematic because Machine can't engage in a defensive fight for Beastie, or sorry, an offensive fight because Beastie's got the defensive advantage. But as Beastie pushes out here onto the creep, he loses the missile turret advantage, and suddenly he's going to be able to use these corruptors and these Mutalisks.
I'm not gonna lie, I do not like the decision to morph in 7 Broodlords. That's a lot of supply that's not gonna help against this massive air army.
And he's going for Neural Parasite, but there's no Festers on the field. They don't have the energy banked up to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
And she's actually attacking the northern base while this is happening, so Machine's actually gonna lose another base behind this.
He does have the northernmost base to be able to send those workers to, but this army of Beastie is looking so deadly at this point in time. So much is going down, and I don't know if there's a way that Machine can deal with this, especially with him now losing that infestation pit with the Neural Parasite.
He needs Neural Parasite. You have to be able to Yamato the own troops a couple times, but not going to happen, not today. At least not just yet. Maybe it can still happen today, as Machine does have quite a few bases to follow this up. If he gets some tech structures up, I mean, because really all he's losing at this point, these bases are mined out. They're empty. He's losing the tech structures that come with them. The gas is expired. The minerals are gone. These northern bases are his greatest asset. But
as long as you said, he's able to get the tech up again. The +3's not going to quite finish on that last fire.
So close. Well, this air army is going to look to try and engage with his point defense drones, and they're all full energy still. And I mean, like, the army composition that Beastie has is so nice. You couldn't even go Hydralism versus. There's too many of everything, really, what it comes down to.
Yeah, this is I don't know I honestly don't know if there's a way that Machine can deal with this.
This is it. Yeah, Beasty's kind of got this in the bag with
How many
his last.
starports are on the way, Rifkin? He has got 5 more starports on the way.
Yeah, Beasty's got this. Like, I give Machine like major props. He played a good game, but in the end, I think the power of the Terran just kind of came through.
Yeah, this is a really awesome late game composition that I haven't seen in a while. Beasty has been known to go Sky Terran in Wings of Liberty, but looks like he wants to make it work in HOTS as well, and making it work to quite great effect.
This is kind of one of those compositions where you really wish Scourges were still in the game. I know you didn't play Brood War, but they're kind of basically air banelings, and with all the clumping on these Vikings, a couple of them could be very effective. But unfortunately, that does not exist.
At this point, we're pretty much just waiting for the GG to come out. We do have a Machine trying to make one final stand. He has a lot of resources. He's trying to get out as many Corruptors as he possibly can, but I don't think it's going to help.
No, there's just too much. He doesn't have the upgrades too is the problem. Like, even if he had the numbers, he doesn't have the actual upgrades to connect them with this, like, blow for blow. Not to mention, you gotta keep in mind, all of those battle cruisers, that's how many are in the field right now? 9 battle cruisers. So that's 9 less Corruptors that Machine's gonna have, because they're all gonna get Yamato'd in an instant.
Yeah, I don't understand. The thing that I don't understand is why he went to Broodlords in the super late game. He has 7 Broodlords that are just...
I don't think he understood just how much of an air army Beasty had. I imagine he thought there was more Thors coming underneath that, because there were some on the front line. But, yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that choice either.
Yeah, 6 more Corruptors are going to come on out, and I think he's going to try to push it there.
Corruption going down.
And Corruption going down quite nicely. I mean...
Trying to do it again.
Here come the Broodlords, Rifkin!
Watch out for the Broodlords! Well, the Yamatos are actually being used on the Broodlords. They're not totally useless. They are soaking a lot of damage, but the point defense drones... this is what people want! Machine and the Predator going down. Good series, so good sport about it.